understanding is that the impact of these moves by US President Donald Trump are likely to be limited on India, at least for now. But to confirm this and to understand this in greater detail, we are now joined by Mr. Chi Chandrasekhar, independent commodity expert, who is now joining us. Mr. Chandrasekhar, afternoon, and thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. Your thoughts on what kind of impact is this likely to have on India, and what really constitutes as business with India? Because I understand our relation and our trading business with Iran at the moment is limited and not as substantial.
We have been put by Trump in an extremely awkward position. It is not merely India-Iran trade, but also India-US trade. Okay, Iran is actually a minor partner. The bilateral trade in 24-25 was less than $2 billion. And the previous year, it was probably close to $3 billion. Therefore, it's actually on the declining trend. But what is important is the US is a bigger trading partner. With the US, we run a goods trade surplus of about $45 billion. Therefore, we are now in a state of what is called dharam sankat. Do we give up the relationship with a smaller partner like Iran to please a bigger partner like the US? I think that's the kind of challenge that is currently posed to India. I think we need to remember that. In any case, our trade with Iran has not been growing. It has seen a degrowth in the last 2 or 3 years. Well, yes, basmati rice is one commodity which Iran buys in fairly decent numbers. Pharmaceutical is something Iran buys in decent numbers. But if we continue to trade with Iran, and if there are secondary sanctions, and particularly with respect to payments, I think the situation can get worse. Therefore, we are in a cleft stick. We need to take a call. We will have to respect the US threat of an additional 25% Iran-linked tariff on Indian goods. Already, our own exports of labor-intensive commodities to the US, our export is actually slowed down, seafood and textiles and others, with 50% tariff, existing tariff. And if there is an additional tariff, it could further impact our exports. This is the first point. The second point is on the port side, Chabahar port. Again, that's a way that is exempt. But we don't know any time that exemption can be waived or can be removed. And there is a third angle which we can't forget, which is the international north-south trade corridor via Iran. India can reach Russia. What if there is a blockage placed on that international north-south trade corridor? I think there are real challenges. India is actually caught in this kind of an extremely awkward situation, and India will have to now decide whether to junk Iran and go with the US, because we cannot afford to antagonize the US. Given our own relationship, our bilateral trade, $130 billion with the US, our goods trade surplus of about $45 billion with the US, whereas Iran, all said and done, with due respect, long relationship over decades, but it's a very, very small partner. Therefore, our New Delhi will have to take a call. It will hurt our tea export, the basmati rice export. Yes, surely, and there are payment-related challenges also. But I'm afraid we will have to bear all of that pain, at least for some time.
Okay, so I understand that India will have to perhaps decide whether it wants to please Trump or wants to perhaps reduce its trade with Iran. But Mr. Chandrasekhar, how do you view this in the light of comments that we got from US Ambassador to India yesterday, where he said that India-US trade deal is perhaps likely to be finalized in the next few days? In this context, how do you see India-US trade relation going forward?
I'm sure, I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that this BTA will be signed sooner rather than later. This is number one. Otherwise, the ambassador would not have made that kind of statement saying that we are very close to concluding a trade deal with India. But Mr. U.S. President Donald Trump's statement yesterday, 12th of January, that and he made it final and conclusive that there will be a 25% additional tariff on all countries that deal with Iran, which obviously includes India, is quite could be potentially quite damaging for India. It is also in a way look at the timing to put pressure on India not to deal with Iran, but to accelerate and hasten the signing of the deal with the US. Put it at multiple dimensions, and the timing is very interesting timing of the statement. Yeah.
Clearly, and you're saying that a bilateral trade agreement is likely to be signed
Yes.
between India and US very soon. That's an
Yes.
important comment, and everyone,
Yes.
perhaps especially the sectors which are impacted, are
Yes.
eagerly waiting for an agreement to be signed. Mr. Chandrasekhar, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now this afternoon and helping us understand how India, US and India-Iran relations stand at this point in time. On that note, we need to slip into a very short break, but more news and updates will continue on the other side.